Hello and welcome to Super OK, where we try to do a decent enough job to entertain people with our opinions on video games. As always, my name is Dale, and I am joined here by one absolutely fearsome fighting dude, and that is Zando. Zando, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am pretty darn good, actually. I just finished eating dinner, and so I am I'm content with the level of fullness I am at. Thank you for asking.
Excellent.
Yes. How do you feel about being a fearsome fighting dude?
I always feel pretty good about it, but it feels even better to finally be recognized in a public setting for it. No one else has ever introduced me that way, and they should.
Yeah. Does it hurt that you're not a teen anymore?
Yes. I think that's mostly just getting old and the back problems, but
yeah,
it does also emotionally hurt not being a teen anymore.
Yeah, my knees are dust. All right, moving on. We start every episode with a highlight of the week. It's a thing that made our week better, nicer, brighter, happier, fitter, more productive.
With better access to the internet.
Yes. What's yours?
Mine is that after delaying and not starting Baldur's Gate 3, I finally got to start it with you and Kankface and Clayton, and we played 4-player. And you guys know what the hell you're doing. I'm still learning, but that was a lot of fun. It
was so good.
I've not been able to play with my D&D group for a very long time, so it was kind of nice to kind of get back to that. I was able to revive an old D&D classic of mine in Duke Lion, and it took us a few tries, but we knocked out that fire demon at the very beginning, and I got that sweet ass flaming sword. But I think my favorite thing was when we went into that one, like before we ended the night, we got one last fight, and Clay was just like, all right, this battle might take us a little bit of time. This guy down here is like really strong. And then I just like jump actioned and then like critical smote, used some kind of smite on that. And then it was just like gone. He goes, what the fuck was that? And I was like, I killed that thing. In one hit. He's like, okay, I guess it's not going to take any time. Let's just move on.
It was amazing. It was so good. I like the fact that in trying to defeat the demon in the very beginning of the game, we had to reload 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
We kept like blowing ourselves up, and like
we had a solid plan. We just didn't know how to do it.
Triggering extra enemies and all sorts of dumb shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It really is so a shame. Good. I mean, we streamed it in the Discord, which I think is the ultimate commercial for if you're not in the Super 8 OK Discord, what the hell's wrong with you? Come in, because we stream video games sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should have probably recorded that and put that on YouTube or something, because that was brilliant.
Yeah, probably. It was very, very good. Very good, very fun. Very good.
Yeah, so fun. I look forward to exploring more of that game, as you guys know what you're doing, and I just get to be the big dumb guy who runs in and kills things.
Nah, it's fine.
I'll figure it out eventually, and I'll be a meaningful and valued member of the team. But until then, I'm just hitting things along the way.
I'm playing a thief, and so I steal everything. I straight up stole a ring out of Ganon's pocket for no reason, just because I could.
It's pretty great. There's like Ganon and Clay are just like, okay, Xander, so here's this thing. We're gonna go up here and do this, and like the whole time they're explaining it or talking about something, you're just running around the map grabbing everything before we can even get to it.
I mean, I share it. I'm always like, oh, I found this nice sword. Does someone want it? But
right. But then there's also like, hey guys, what do you think of this dope ass hat? And it's like a beret.
Game is good. The game is so fun. My highlight of the week is that this weekend, Ange and I had a whole bunch of stuff that we needed to get done. We will be moving out of our house for straight up 4 months, lifting the house and doing all sorts of crazy work on it and all of that. And if you're unfamiliar with that, you can ask me in the Discord. I'll be happy to explain it to you. But we had a shit ton of stuff that we had to get done this weekend, and we just didn't. We went to the beach instead, and it fucking ruled.
I thought you were going to say we got it all done, and it felt great.
No, man, we just did not. We didn't do any of that shit. We went to the beach. We like hung out. We swam. Our friend rolled up. He like chugged a beer and then got in the water with us. Like it was awesome. The beach was so good. It was 90 degrees out. It was like jam packed. There were so many people there, but everybody was totally awesome. People were playing music and like the vibes were solid. You know, there were boats docked right up against the buoys that were just like bumping out Motown for everybody to swim to. It was an
Nice.
awesome day. 90 degrees out, not a cloud in the sky, just absolutely gorgeous. And so if you didn't get a chance to go to the beach this summer, I am sorry for you. This was only the second time that we got to go to the beach, and it was not enough times.
Is you guys went to Belle Isle, right?
We did.
Is that beach now closed for the season, or?
No, it's just
Okay.
probably the last time we're going to get to go to the beach this summer.
Gotcha.
You know, because all of the insanity that is happening in our lives. And there's just something to be said, like cutting out of school is sweet. And like back when I was younger, I could cut out of work, you know, but I don't get a chance to do that often. And so just cutting out of being an adult, so liberating, so amazing.
Yeah. My kids have, or rather my oldest has been asking about when we're going to the beach again. We've not gone this year, so maybe we'll have to do that. She's officially a kindergartner on Monday, so
Holy
we should probably
crap.
have to do something about that before she starts.
Yeah, that's wild to think about, man.
Yep.
That's absolutely, they grow up so fast.
As old as hell.
Yeah, she really is. All right, so this week we're like, hey, Xando, you like fighting games?
I do.
And I was like, hey, Dale, you like fighting games too? I do. And so we were like, what if we made our own fighting game? And then populated the roster with 16 different characters and then decided which out of those characters would be the best. And so we did that. So we've got a list here of 16 different characters. We put them in a bracket. The bracket is in the show notes. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll be able to see them in the show notes.
But don't do it until the end of the episode. Otherwise, spoilers. You'll be able to see the whole thing. Right?
No. I took a screenshot now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got scared.
You're fine. The screenshot is now without it being filled out. But you'll be able to see what the bracket looks like. For everyone else, you'll just have to rely on our luscious voices to explain it to you. But basically, we're going to go character by character, matchup by matchup, and debate who would win in each of these fights. I want to set some ground rules right now, though. Are we going for fully powered up version, the version that you think of, or the version at the start of the game?
I would say probably at their highest capability.
Okay, fully powered up version.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. So we'll base it on that. We're just going to go through. We're going to argue. You know, I'll argue for my side. Xando will argue for his side. We will decide together who moves on. If you have a different opinion, if only there were a Discord you could put that in. Oh, there is. Put it in the Discord, right? In fact, go to if you're a Patreon, get in there, get the sheet, fill it out yourself, post it in the Discord, so that way we can see what your opinions are. I am very excited to see what everyone thinks about this.
Now, it's just the two of us, and these are things we should have maybe discussed before we started. If we can't come to a consensus, I got a big old bag of dice here. You want me to we'll just high roll?
In the unlikely event, I feel like you and I are both sane human beings, but in the highly unlikely event that we are unable to come to a consensus, yes, we can do a high roll.
All right, I got a D20 ready. I've got
a D20 behind me.
Right. All right.
This is an audio medium, so listeners, I have a huge inflatable D20.
Listen, if listeners aren't already watching a 20-sided ninja on Twitch, they're messing up.
Ooh.
They need to know that inflatable 20-sided dice is right there behind you.
Thanks for the plug. I will not be streaming while I am not in my house, so I appreciate it. Go follow, and you'll see it later, maybe.
So we both submitted 8 characters, and then we went to challenge.com, set up a bracket, and I entered them in as we entered them in on our Google form, and then shuffled the seeds 3 times because that's my favorite number. And there are only one matchup per each of us where we have to argue against our own characters. Everything else will be interesting, where it's like someone Dale submitted versus someone I submitted. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So with round 1, we start with Isaac from Binding of Isaac and Reinhardt from Overwatch.
Yes.
Now, I feel like this one's pretty cut and dry. Isaac's a baby. Reinhardt's a fully grown man with a gigantic hammer.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is the main matchup where I wanted to know if it's the fully powered up version or if it's the version that we think of or the starter. And because we're going fully powered up, Isaac is actually an unkillable demon with wings who shoots brimstone out of his face, is encircled by an impenetrable ring of knives. Super Meat Boy is on his side. Like, this guy is buck ass wild. If you had said the version that you think of or the version when you start the game, I would agree. Isaac is a baby. But because you decided to go with fully powered up, and Binding of Isaac is a game that wants you actively to break it in half, I think I gotta go Isaac here. But only because I don't think Reinhardt could take out a flying demon baby that can shoot fire out of its eyeballs.
I feel like there's something to say. I mean, assuming Isaac's gone through and gotten his power-ups, right?
Yes.
Can we also assume that Reinhardt has a team around him? Not necessarily to attack, but to buff and heal.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Because I think you get Anna's you're powered up, get in there, that little bit of invincibility that you get, breaking through. Reinhardt's own hammer, where he knocks him down and gets a chance to go in. That's a tough one.
It is, but counterpoint, do you think Reinhardt could defeat the devil? Like the real Christian devil? Because fully powered up, Isaac does it without batting an eye, and then goes on to also defeat Mega Satan.
I'm at a disadvantage. I didn't get that far into Binding of Isaac. Man, I want to say yes because it's Reinhardt.
I know you love Reinhardt so much, but there's no way Reinhardt can beat the Christian devil in a fight.
I mean, that's if you believe in the Christian devil.
Oh man, it's so good.
So there's that. I mean,
yeah, I guess that's true. If you want to take the character out of the game, because there are fan theories where Binding of Isaac all takes place in Isaac's head as he is suffocating to death in his toy chest.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to like take that part out, but if we want to include power-ups and like the whole game and all of that, I think Isaac.
Yeah, I think also if you argued that he's got Super Meat Boy on his side, I think that means I get at least one teammate.
Yeah, you get at least one teammate, and you still couldn't defeat the devil.
That's fair. So then does Isaac just win this whole thing?
No, I don't think Isaac does win the whole thing, actually.
That's fair enough. All right.
But I think he beats Reinhardt.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say, I think you raised a valid argument for that. So we will give this one to Isaac, which takes us into round 2. Now this will be very interesting because I love both of these. Yeah, and these both have strong power-ups.
Yes. So we have Mega Man versus Samus Aran from the Metroid series. If you're unversed.
Man. And fully powered up. I don't know, man. That's tough. Because that's a lot of powers on Mega Man's side.
It really is. It really is. So I'm gonna make the argument for Samus real quick, and then
Okay.
you can make the argument for Mega Man. So the thing about Samus, we know that she is ruthless. We know that she is resourceful. We know that she has been able to defeat enemies that are like 19 times her size. She's able to escape bounty hunters. She's able to defeat um, the parasite, like all of these crazy things. She has all of these absolutely amazing power-ups, things that allow her to jump higher, become invincible while jumping, like that sort of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and she has an absolutely insane health pack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can take a shit ton of hits with a fully powered up Samus. There is also the like Mega Bomb Flash that I just blanked on the name of.
Yeah, the
right?
super bombs.
Yeah, the Super Bomb when you're the Spark Flash or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Right, where you like destroy literally anything that's destroyable on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So my argument for Samus is she is incredibly resourceful and she has all of these amazing tools. And Mega Man is a boy robot. But you got to talk about Mega Man.
Right. Mega Man is a boy robot who has destroyed countless other man robots and is able to take the powers. And depending on the lore that you're looking at, it comes from just touching. Like if you look at the Mega Man cartoon, he just runs up and touches and he's able to absorb their powers. I think if Mega Man's able to get in close, which he's got time stop, he can literally stop Samus in her tracks, run up and grab her, take the powers, bada bing, bada boom. He's also got the gear shift that was introduced in Mega Man 11, where he can slow down time or speed up time to his own advantage, speeding up time to enhance the power of certain attacks and whatnot. He's got Rush on his side. He's got multiple power-up costumes where he can throw on the super punch. He can fly around, so he's going to be able to keep up with Samus's mobility. To my knowledge, I don't believe Mega Man has any Doomsday kind of attacks. Mega Man X, on the other hand, does, but that's a completely different character. But I think the ability to time stop and have access to all the different abilities, I think Mega Man's going to be able to find a weakness. Also, Samus' suit can come off, and then what does she have?
So I think if Mega Man got that Justin Bailey action,
got some Justin Bailey, she's got a stun gun. So I think if Mega Man's able to stop time, maybe use some Metal Blade to knock off some of that armor, I think it's game over.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. The time stopping argument swayed me there. I think it makes sense that Mega Man would probably take this if we're both allowing the cartoon as canon and and the ability to time stop from later games, then yes, that is probably correct.
And I mean, this is hard because we both love both of these characters. And so I hate to see Samus get knocked out in a round one, but I don't see Samus getting around time. And even in the games, there's not been really like a time stop situation that you get around.
Right.
Other than like being crippled by a gigantic Metroid.
Yes. Yeah. And even there, like you look at Super Metroid, like Mother Brain almost knocks you out. The only thing that brings you back is the Metroid helping you.
Yeah.
Now, I think if we're talking Metroid is helping Samus gets it.
Yeah,
I
think
I don't think that's in the spirit of the competition. So I will agree. I think it's probably Mega Man.
All right. So Mega Man advances. Samus, sadly, is left behind. And that leads us to round 3, where we have Geno from Super Mario RPG and Earthworm Jim. Now, this will be an interesting one, because I think there's strong points for each, and I think there are weaknesses of each.
I agree. Talk to me about Geno.
So Geno is he's from the Star Road, where the wishing stars come from, and he just comes down and inhabits the toy, and then goes through the world of Mario and is able to reclaim the 7 stars, thus repairing the Star Road, thus making wishes able to be granted again, and just defeats all the enemies. He's got a strong attack called Geno Whirl, that if you time the hit right, does 9,999 damage, which I think does a lot in his favor. And different guns. So he's got the long range ability. He can turn himself into a goddamn cannon and shoot the sun at you. So I think that's some pretty good stuff in his side.
Okay, fair enough. Earthworm Jim is a worm, and he's cool. And he's in a super suit and he's got a gun. He has the ability to inflate his head so he can fly around, which is kind of cool.
What's the color of Jim's big red gun?
It's red.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Quick pop quiz, man.
Yeah. You like made me doubt myself.
For those who are unfamiliar with Earthworm Jim, there were certain levels where you had to answer questions to advance, and one of the questions is, "What color is Jim's big red gun?"
Yeah, that's pretty good. Here's the thing: I love Earthworm Jim. I love somebody who can use their own head as a whip, right? But yeah, I mean, he can't throw the sun at anyone,
right? And he's still kind of a pea shooter, so he's kind of got to just hope that he gets enough hits in. Which I mean, Gino does have a finite number of hit points, but
yeah,
I think the timed hit mega attack, I think that might be the death of him.
Yeah, although Jim could drop a cow on Gino, and that would be pretty good. But yeah. I don't think that would be 9,999.
Probably not.
So, all right, yeah, Gino takes this one.
All right. Gino advances.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Jim wins that.
All right, and that leads us to round 4. Why don't you tell us about this one?
Oh yeah, so in this one, this is man, what a good battle we've got lined up for you here. We have Kirby versus Parappa the Rapper. I'm not going to lie, man. I think Kirby may take this whole tournament. But there's no... Kirby, for those of you who aren't aware, is a real human boy. According to the manual, he's a real human boy who goes out to try and save his people from starvation and inexplicably has the ability to inhale anyone, eat them, and gain their powers. And there are some crazy ass powers out there. But I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think Parappa the Rapper could survive being eaten once. And Kirby can do that as many times as he wants. So
that's true. King DDD does eat them and spits them back out. Now Kirby can spit stars, but can he spit bars? That's what I'm wondering. Is this going to be a traditional battle, or are we going rap battle for this? Because I think if we do that, then the odds are on his side. Other than that, I think Kirby wins.
I mean, maybe, but also Kirby has that microphone power, and what does that do?
It just gives you an insane amount of feedback. Nobody likes that at a rap battle.
And then what happens with the feedback?
It kills you.
It kills who?
The enemies.
Everyone on the screen?
Yeah. Yep.
So either way, if it's a regular battle or a rap battle, Parappa the Rapper is not walking out alive.
That's fair. Can't argue with that. I mean, Kirby can swallow bombs and then just throw off a nuclear explosion. So I think Kirby's got this one.
Kirby is so insane. But he's remember, it's important to know he's a regular human boy.
I'll have to check the internet on that one. Because I've always heard that he's a cream puff to me, is what I always remember him being described as.
Yeah.
But I'll take your word for it. So up next, we have Spy from Team Fortress versus Rad Spencer from Bionic Commando. Now, here's where I have the super secret shame of I've never played Team Fortress, so I don't know anything about Spy.
I mean, that's okay. I'll tell you all about Spy. Spy has the unique ability to transform into one of the opposing team members. So he will look exactly like one of the opposing team members. And so let's say you are on the blue team and you are fighting against the red team. You can pick all right, I'm going to look like the Reds heavy. And so then you can be in there in the mix with the red team, have a healer healing you that thinks that they're healing their own heavy. their heavy's off God knows where getting murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the healer and you are in a isolated area. Boom, you turn around, you kill him. You
Right.
backstab him. Spy has all sorts of cool powers, has the ability to go invisible and take out like engineering turrets and that sort of thing. So in a team game, Spy is super overpowered.
1v1 though?
It depends on the character. Let's hear about what's up with Bionic Commando.
Red Spencer not only has a pretty strong arsenal, limited or not limited to just machine guns, but also grenade launchers. He also has an arm that is living, I guess, depending on the lore that you go with.
Isn't it his dead wife?
Yeah, in the 2009 Bionic Commando, yeah, sure is. It's his dead wife is infused into that arm, but it still doesn't stop him from grabbing your ass from very far away. So I think unless the spy is invisible and can't find him, I think Rad's going to grab him from wherever he's at and then meet him up close with a strong weapon. And even if not, he's got that grenade launcher, which is going to do some area of effect damage. So I don't know how well the spy can hide from explosions.
How many allies would you say that Rad Spencer has?
Maybe 2. Super Joe and other girl character who I don't remember the name of. I don't think that she was actually given a name in the game.
Okay,
but she breaks him out of prison and then gives him his weapons back.
Okay, because here's the thing about the spy. If he gets you with a backstab, it deals 6 times the victim's health.
Okay.
So it's an insta-kill on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But only if he can stab you in the back.
Right. And so I guess that opens up the question of, are they going into this tournament where they know they're fighting one another? In which case, wouldn't Rad know not to trust anything that looks like an ally?
Right? Like, that's the thing, is there's a whole lot of ifs here where if this condition is true, then Spy has a leg up. If this other condition is true, then Spy has a leg up.
Yeah.
But in general, Rad Spencer can just like hang from the ceiling and shoot Spy. And there's not a whole lot. I mean, Spy could like shoot him,
Right.
But he has no other like abilities. He can get healed by like the healing things that would heal Rad. He can use Rad's like ammo dispensers, like all of that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he can turn invisible. But man, if Rad gets a beat on him, I think he's done.
Yeah. So I think it seems like the only way Spy has a shot is if he's able to sneak up behind him. But other than that, he has to open fire on him some way. Like you said, if Rad's up on the ceiling, I don't think aside from shooting, I don't think Spy's got a way to get to him. And when he shoots, he reveals himself, and then Rad just grabs him with the bionic arm, and then game over.
Yes, sadly. This one, I'm not gonna lie, it hurts, but I think Rad takes it. But it hurts. Yeah. It hurts because Spy's so good.
Yeah. That sounds kind of is Team Fortress still up and running? I feel like that's maybe a thing I should try to do sometime.
If you like a hero shooter,
mm-hmm.
Team Fortress is a really good hero shooter.
All right, we'll have to check it out.
Team Fortress 2. I don't know about Team Fortress 1. Team Fortress 2, really good hero shooter.
Fair enough. I was too focused on Portal when I got the orange box. I never actually played Team Fortress.
That's fair.
All right, so round 6, we have Simon Belmont of Castlevania fame versus Voldo from Soul Calibur.
I bet you'll never guess who picked who, listeners. Why don't you tell us about Simon Belmont?
So Simon Belmont is a vampire hunter with a whip and a handful of other weapons, such as a cross, the boomerang cross that will fly out, do some damage, and come back to him. Holy water, axes that he can throw. He's got a pretty solid arsenal. He drops like a brick though. So if a jumping contest, man, you don't want Simon on your side. But he's got the vampire killer whip, and I think the distance that he can get on Voldo might give him a leg up. But Voldo's real mobile. So why don't you tell us a little more about Voldo?
So here's the thing about Voldo. He's an old ass blind Italian man.
Mm-hmm.
with blades on his hands, but he also is inexplicably extremely quick, extremely agile, extremely mobile. He has this weird dance that he can do that allows him to evade literally any attack. He can skitter forward. He can leap at you as though he were a rat and claw at your face and eyes. He is strong enough to lift even a person who is a ton over his head and spin them above him. He
With
has
one
the
hand,
ability
right?
with one hand. He has the ability to crawl in betwixt your legs as though he were a serpent and then power bomb you onto the ground. I don't know how this one works. He can grab his own legs, roll into a circle, roll at you, and then explode outward, causing like a shock wave. He is totally batshit crazy.
Right.
And I love him completely. And so I guess the question we have to ask here is Simon Belmont at his most powered up. Could he deal with the utter insanity that is Voldo?
I think the answer is yes. And the reason I say that is because as you described Voldo, I think another fair way to describe him is the stuff of nightmares. And that's literally what Simon Belmont deals with. And if we're going to just talk about even them at their highest power, Voldo can still get beat by Ivy, and she's got a whip. That seems pretty similar. And Voldo, all the creepy things he can do sounds a lot like a lot of the enemies that Simon Belmont's had to deal with. At his most powerful, you've got acid or like holy acid rain that can come down. You've got bigger versions of all of his weapons. I think he's a force to be reckoned with, who's already kind of ready for all the crazy shit that Voldo can throw at him. But if he gets in close, I think that's the issue.
I really think it comes down to whether or not this takes place in a fighting game or a 2D environment. And I'm not going to lie, if we think about it from a 2D environment, the fact that Voldo does not progress, right? He is a fighting game character. He is what he is from the onset. There's no power-ups, there's no leveling up, there's no weapons, there's none of that. But man, if we were talking like what you think of and or base level, Voldo mops the floor with Simon Belmont. But if he's fully powered up, I have to agree. I think Simon Belmont takes this. But that also pains me to say.
All right. So we have Simon Belmont advancing, and now we come to round 7. Which are 2 characters that I submitted. So this will be a really fun argument.
I'm excited to hear it.
And if we're going fully powered up, I think the answer is easy. We have Zangief from Street Fighter going up against Clayton Carmine from Gears of War. Zangief, we've already discussed him on several other episodes, but Clayton Carmine is one that you may not know if you've not played the Gears of War series, which is a third-person shooter sci-fi horror game.
It's a meat-take simulator.
Right, yeah, basically. All your characters are just in gigantic, like Rob Liefeld looking suits and with their gigantic guns.
Their guns have hated Gears of War forever, and I couldn't put my finger on why. And you just nailed it for me. They all looked like something drawn by that idiot Rob Liefeld.
You ain't wrong.
God damn it.
But their guns have chainsaws attached to them. So I think if we're going fully powered up, I mean, Zangief hates zoners, he hates projectiles, and that's what guns are. And I think Clayton Carmine, he's the third in a series of brothers. Had I gone Anthony Carmine, had I gone Benjamin Carmine, game over. Zangief's going to kill him because those characters get killed at the very beginning of the game. It's this really tragic story of the Carmine brothers that are enlisted in the army, and every one of them dies. So in the third one, you get Clayton, and he's ripped as shit, man. He's got tattoos everywhere. He's bigger than all the other ones. He's got Grub Killer just etched across the armor on his chest. And it was a big question of, is he going to live or is he going to die? I wanted him to die because he's a Carmine, but spoilers for a 12-year-old game, I guess. He lives. So I think in this instance, Zangief versus Clayton Carmine, I think I got to give it to Carmine.
That also hurts me.
Yeah, Zangief has the guns. I say as I slap my pretend biceps. but Carmine has the actual shooting guns. So I think Carmine's got this one.
Now, does Carmine die in Gears of War 4?
Carmine is they mention a D Carmine, so that's the joke. Is like, so you have Anthony, Benjamin, Clayton, and then there's I don't remember what his name is in the fourth one. So but they're all like alphabetical. They don't ever tell you what happens to the later Carmine. It's assumed that D Carmine dies, but they don't ever confirm that, and Clayton is never brought up.
So here is a weird thing that I just found on the internet.
Yeah.
This is utterly insane. Apparently, Epic Games let fans vote.
Yes.
On whether or not Clayton Carmine was going to die or not.
Yes. They had three ways you could vote. I think you could straight up vote on the internet. You could buy a t-shirt, like a physical t-shirt that said, it was red that said Carmine must die, or blue that says save Carmine. And you could buy the same thing for your Xbox avatar. I still have my Carmine must die shirt. Still fits, I'm proud to say. And my Xbox avatar still has the Carmine must die red shirt. So I voted for him to die. But I think even Cliff Bleszinski, the guy who kind of came up with the whole concept of Gears of War, wanted him to die. But the fans voted otherwise.
Well, here's the thing. On December 21st, 2011, Epic Games released a short video
where Carmine drops his toaster into the bathtub.
Yes, a radio into the bathtub with him as he is reaching for bacon. And that is how he dies.
Right.
If he were to die. So,
because everybody wondered, because they teased it all the way to the end. At the end of Gears of War 3, there's this big fight, a big explosion, and it kind of shows a beach. And on the sandy beach is Carmine's helmet. You're like, oh man, he died. That we got what we wanted. And then his hand reaches down and puts the helmet on. And so like, okay, because that's the other thing is you never see their faces. So
totally wild.
Yep. So totally are we in agreement with Carmine moving forward here?
It hurts, but yes. But man, it hurts.
Yeah, it sure does. All right, round 8. These are your characters. Take it away.
These are both my characters, and I did not anticipate this matchup at all. One of the characters that I picked is Cool Spot from the game 7-Up.
From Cool Spot?
He's from Cool Spot, the 7-Up mascot. And also there's a Othello game that features Cool Spot in it.
Because why not?
Yes. And then he's just a little red dot, and he's
got sunglasses.
He has sunglasses. He can snap his fingers and shoot out like a little projectile from the energy that it makes from the
it's carbonation bubbles.
From the popping bubbles of 7-Up. And he uses that to fight off seagulls on a beach and shit. And then the other character is Lilith from the Borderlands series. Arguably one of the most powerful characters in all video gamedom, especially if she's juiced up on iridium. She is a siren who has the ability to lock characters in place, set shit on fire, bring people back from the dead, all sorts of crazy shit. And so I don't think there's any question. It's got to be Spot, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, how does she handle carbonation?
I was I thought it'd be really funny if Cool Spot went up against Parappa the Rapper, and then he had to shuffle it 3 times. And so it's Cool Spot versus Lilith. And there's no way that it's not Lilith here. It is definitely Lilith here.
Well, I think Cool Spot was your first choice, and it would have gone up against Reinhardt. So
also would have been hilarious,
right? So Cool Spot moves on, is what we're saying. Is that?
Yeah, Cool Spot is dead. Lilith moves on. All right, so now we're into round 2. These I think are going to go a little bit quicker here.
Yeah.
But the first bracket says Isaac versus Mega Man.
Yep. And I think the whole demon thing is still a little bit on your side, but I also think about time stopping. I
Yeah,
think that's a really tough thing.
I don't think that matters because Isaac also has the ability to turn into a statue that is invulnerable when he stands still. So it's Isaac still. I'm sorry, Mega Man. It's Isaac. He's a goddamn demon.
Fair enough. I think the only hope is the other one's got a hard hard road to get ahead. But yeah, I think that's fair. That's
Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah, it is.
So then we move on
Isaac.
to Gino versus Kirby. And I feel like we might have a fight here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still think Gino is able, as long as he's able to keep his distance, as long as he's not right in Kirby's face, I think he's got a shot. And he's got the wishing road on his side. You just wish Kirby to go away.
Is that a thing you can do in the games?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, the game ends before,
Okay.
Fine.
So here's the thing. Kirby can fly.
Mm-hmm.
He can get real close to Gino and then just absorb Gino. And then he has all of Gino's powers, but also he can also eat Gino and just eat him. And now he's dead and gone.
That's fine. That's fair. I hate it.
Kirby
I hate it so much.
insane. He's so overpowered.
I hate it so much.
But it's accurate.
Yeah. You ain't wrong. So that leads us to the next round of Rad Spencer versus Simon Belmont, both long range, both have an arsenal of weapons. Yeah, both have whips. I think Rad's got the upper hand with the arsenal, though.
I was gonna say, if it's a choice between a boomerang and a gun, I know which one I'm taking.
And I was really hoping Simon Belmont would go on so he'd have a chance against Isaac. But I think Rad Spencer's the logical choice. I think Rad Spencer wins.
It's funny because if the end bracket, if the final bracket was Isaac versus Simon Belmont, there's no question Simon Belmont wins that, right? But that's not going to happen because Rad Spencer takes him out along the way.
Yep. Which goes to Clayton, Carmine, and Lilith. Now, I don't know anything about Lilith, but from what you described, it sounds like she wins.
This fight takes 40 seconds.
Yep.
Like Lilith realizes Clayton, and like the first 25 is Lilith realizing that Clayton is the person she's supposed to fight because he's not yelling anything about like being the conductor of the poop train or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, she freezes him in place. He is set on fire, poisoned, slimed. I forget what it's called, like sludged. He cannot move. He cannot shoot. And then like his brain falls out. Like it's a bad time for Clayton.
Yeah. I mean, Carmine, even at his strongest, a really close shotgun will take him out. So
yeah.
and not just take him out. He gets blown into chunks. Like he's
he's just a guy at the end of the thing. But in a battle of just the guys, he got pretty far.
Yep.
So
all right. So the semifinals takes us to Isaac versus Kirby.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't think there's any way that Kirby loses here, right? He eats Isaac, gains his powers, and then is also a demon who can eat this baby.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean, you brought up the impenetrable knife circle, which has me kind of thinking maybe, but
I think here's the thing. Kirby in Smash has shown that he can take a knife hit or two, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, he'll get hurt. I'm not saying he's coming out unscathed, but he's going to fuck up Isaac.
Yep. I also feel the whole like swallowing a bomb and just, having that bomb power. Yeah. I think that's not good for Isaac either.
Yeah. Isaac is not like invincible. He's just real close to it. Kirby, like, can just turn into a rock, right? Oh,
right. But didn't you also say that Isaac can do that?
Now you're charging your attack. Oh, I'll eat you. What? Oh, you're a rock. It's fine. I've eaten you.
That's
right?
fair. Yeah. No, you're right. You ain't
bullshit.
wrong.
I shouldn't have picked Kirby. Bullshit.
All right. So Kirby moves on to the finals, which is going to be up against the winner of the next round, which is Rad Spencer versus Lilith. And if Carmine didn't have a chance, I don't think there's any way in hell that Rad Spencer does.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
All right. And I'm officially out of the contest now. This is just your pick versus your pick. Kirby versus Lilith.
I
think if we're going chronologically, right? If this is a real ass fighting tournament, Kirby's swallowed Isaac. He's become a demon, and Lilith loses.
Keep in mind, Kirby can only hold one power at a time.
Right. But if that most recent thing was Isaac, then that's what it is.
Sure. Yes. Fine. I was gonna say Kirby can just as long as Kirby gets the opportunity to not be frozen in place by Lilith, Kirby takes this. Right. And so, yeah, I don't think there's any question and if Lilith does freeze him in place, Kirby's got the Isaac power. So it's yeah, I think Kirby's bullshit. I shouldn't have picked him. I'm mad at me for picking Kirby.
Oh, there you go.
But he's a real human boy.
The end of the tournament. Real human boy Kirby goes all the way.
What do you think that fight looks like between Kirby and Lilith?
I don't even know what Lilith looks like. I've never been a Borderlands guy. Man. I'm assuming it's just big scary lady getting swallowed by pink real human boy.
She's not even that big. She's kind of slight. She's got she's like traditional redheaded badass lady, short hair, tattoos that glow when she uses her powers, fire wings that come out of her back when she uses her powers. She looks cool, but yeah, man, it's just her, a flame pink human boy who looks like a pink cream puff. And I think the cream puff just demolishes her, man.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy that that's the answer. But that is 100% the answer. All right. So this leads me to a question that we did not talk about. But do you think there's anything that could kill Kirby? Or is he the Grimace?
I think he might be the Grimace. Well, what happens when Kirby meets the Grimace? If two immovable objects meet,
I think we'd get a new delicious McDonald's milkshake out of it.
Right?
I legit don't know if there is a single being in all.
What about the cursor from Black and White when you were just literally God?
I am imagining a scenario where you move the cursor towards Kirby to smite him, and he sucks the cursor up. And then it's just as you're moving the mouse around, it's just Kirby resisting going in whatever direction you want it to go in. Kirby is bullshit. He's too strong. How does he ever lose in his games?
Falls down a pit, takes 5 hits or 6.
Yeah, right? Imagine falling down a pit in a game where you can fly, though.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, sometimes you just get hit and then you can't puff up fast enough, Yeah. It happens. It's not often.
Yeah. Kirby's overpowered as hell, though.
Yeah.
If you disagree with anything that we said in the battle, though, please
go straight to hell.
Discord.
No, the Discord.
Go straight to hell, aka the Discord. No, the Discord is a very pleasant place. We were having
go straight to hell. Take it up with Demon Lord Kirby.
Oh man, that's great.
Please let us know where we're wrong in the Discord. We're sorry that your favorite characters got knocked out,
or weren't even included.
Right? Yeah. I know there's going to be some kind of fight where the glitch in the Discord is just going to be, what the hell? Why didn't Gino go all the way? But I mean,
yeah,
Kirby, man, he got matched up against Kirby is why. Look, Kirby. If Parappa couldn't beat him, I don't know who was going to.
That rap battle almost threw me. All right, so we have a sponsored question today, and this question, ironically enough, is sponsored by Super Smash Bros., where beating up your friends and family isn't just encouraged, it's the whole point. I would like you to pitch a brand new game starring Kirby, and it can't be the same type of game that they have already been in. So it can be none of them. So, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Kirby was in that racing game, right? Where there's like you ride on stars.
Oh yeah, Kirby's Air Ride. Yes.
Right. So you can't do that. You can't do a platformer. You can't do
a multiplayer fighter.
Yeah. You can't do a fighting game. Pitch me a game for Kirby.
I think the most logical answer for the guy who eats everything is to do Kirby Cooking Mama. Just coming up with different recipes, cooking them up, and serving them to your friends. And that's in line with Kirby, who's trying to get food back to feed the people of Dreamland. I'm actually surprised there's not already a game like it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Dude, I just pulled up a list of games that Kirby has been in.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby's been in a shit ton of games.
I believe it.
You can't do a golf game.
Nope.
You can't do a pinball game.
Nope.
You can't do a puzzle game.
Yep. You can't do a Puyo Pop style game.
Yep. You can't do, like, there's a million different games that you can't do.
There was a Kirby song in Donkey Konga, so does that mean you can't do a rhythm game?
Yeah, Kirby's in it. Also, Dee Dee's Drum Dash Deluxe.
Well,
there's another rhythm game. This is helpful. This shows a bunch of them.
I mean, Kirby Superstar has a whole bunch of different versions of the game. Like, you can't do a timed based reaction, like samurai kind of game.
Yeah. Also, apparently there was a game called Kirby Fighters 2 that I didn't know about.
I didn't know about Kirby Fighters 1.
That's a fighting game. Yeah. Kirby's been in a lot of shit, man. I want a Kirby game that is where he has succeeded in bringing food back to his town, his village, whatever, and they elect him mayor. And now it is a town simulator, like SimCity mixed with Democracy Inc., where Kirby is like making like policy decisions about the town and like laying down infrastructure and making decisions about zoning and like all of that. And all of the other like Nintendo characters can make cameos. You can have like a Link's clay pot shop and shit like that, but that's what I want. I want a city builder / politics simulator, but with Kirby as the main character.
And if there's a task that he's unfamiliar with, he just swallows the person who does it and then takes on that role.
Yeah. Unlike you've got your railroad tycoons and like your theme park tycoons where you like hire an expert. In this, you hire the expert and then you eat them.
Yes.
And you gain the ability. Sounds horrific. Sounds like a true nightmare game. But I do kind of want to play it.
Seems interesting enough.
Toadstool Cafe. You got options. You got choices.
You're still looking at that list of Kirby games, aren't you?
No, that's the name of the restaurant in Super Mario or in Super Nintendo Land.
Oh.
But like Toadstool could have his cafe in Kirby's town.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Luigi's Hotel. Right?
There you go.
Like you got a bunch of different little buildings that it would make sense to.
Wait, is there a Luigi's Hotel in Super Mario World or Super Nintendo World?
No.
And they didn't do Hotel Mario because that seems like a mistake.
No, there isn't.
You don't want to call back to that 3DO game.
Oh God, yeah. No, isn't the plot of? Oh no, it's Luigi's Mansion. It's not a hotel in any of those. It's just.
I think technically Luigi's Mansion 3, you are in a hotel style.
Perfect.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. There you go. That counts. I'll let it slide.
Ooh. You just made me think of something. And it's horrible and gross. But I think Gooigi might be able to defeat Kirby from the inside.
From the inside. That's too gooey for me, man. I think
it's so gross. Do you have anything else to say about this fighting game bracket?
No, just let it be done.
What have we done here? Kirby, please forgive me. Why don't you tell the people where you can be found?
We found in the Discord as Zando or Zando Calrissian.
Perfect.
That's about it, man.
I am a 20-sided ninja. I am on Twitch. I have stopped using Twitter because they called it X, and that's dumb as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess I'm on the Blue Sky now. Thanks to you.
I'm using Blue Sky and Mastodon, and we'll see which of those catches on. But I'm using both of those currently.
I'm real bad at like social media like that, where it's just like post a thing. I'd rather just do it in the Discord. So if you're looking for me on Blue Sky, I haven't posted anything yet.
It's true.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Blue Sky is a good social media though. Yeah. You know who we didn't put in this bracket?
Mario.
True. You know who else we didn't put?
I mean, there's a lot of people we didn't put in here.
There's a lot of people. Post your favorites in the Discord, unless your favorite's Dan, because fuck him.
Man, that might be worse than Kirby.
Dan?
Yeah. Like we're sitting here at the end of this bracket thinking, what have we done, man? Fuck Kirby, but I don't know, man.
Dan.
I
don't know who wins in a fight between Dan and Cool Spot, and that's pretty bad, Dan.
I don't know who sucks more, Kirby or Dan. You know what I'm saying?
All right, if you're a Patreon,
I don't know who's more of a spineless worm, Dan or Earthworm Jim. You know?
I don't know who's an older Italian guy, Dan or Boldo. Yeah. Anyway, if you're a Patreon, thanks so much for being a Patreon. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet told your friends and family about this podcast, maybe this ain't the one, but like point them to a different episode. I don't know.
Stay tuned next week for a much better show.
Yeah, they just swear about Kirby for like a long time.
And they don't believe in the Christian devil. How can we support a
They keep saying Christian devil. Oh, God. They talk about a guy whose arm is his wife. It's really weird. Anyway, if you're listening, thanks for listening. I hope you have a super okay day. Goodbye.
Bye.